What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Reign of Kings. My name is Splattercat. I'm happy to have you here today. This is the first day on the new server, and so I opened the gates this morning. There should be people on very, very shortly. I wanted everybody to start at the same time. It's kind of like when you have like the early access launch of an MMO. I'm trying to do the exact same thing so that everything's not like tapered or anything like that. It's just everybody has the same amount of time to jump on in and have a good time. So if you wanted the server information, you should definitely check that out. It's up on the Facebook right now. Got the password, got the map, got everything else. I think that we are going to declare ourselves as part of Chivalry. If you wanted to get the map is actually up on the Facebook right now. I posted it along with the server announcement release blog thingy that I did. I don't know. I'm not good at social media. I'm like, there needs to be like anti-social media. That's the only way for me to ever truly fit into this world of like tweets and random posts and tumbles and whatever the hell they're called. But for right now, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be getting our base started. So I went and I claimed the kingship because, I was the first person on the server, so why not? I'm sure somebody will steal it from me. And then last night I spent some time farming to get like some of these things all put together. I left a whole bunch of iron just like smelting overnight and then just sort of like got everything started because I knew people wouldn't want to watch me do stuff from scratch. It gets boring. I realize that at this point we've just about done everything that there is to do. Done. We've done just about everything. That's a southern term right there. We done just about everything there is to be done up on this server and up on this game. So for right now, if you wanted to know, this over here is the, let's see here, yeah, that's going to be the neutral island. If you look way off in the distance, you will see the filthy denizens of Greasewood. If you were to look off in that direction, over here, that mountain right over there, not the opposite side of that mountain, but that mountain is basically the demarcation zone in between us and the people of Flophaven as well. I myself am Chiselburg born and raised, and so I have to say that Chiselburg's supremacy on this server, it needs to be solidified. Now, if people feel like it's unfair that I'm playing as part of a faction, I'm perfectly fine with actually receding on in and going back into the Grey faction. Honestly, that seems like it'd be the kind of place for a server admin to be anyways. The Grey faction seems like it would be able to sort of like dictate the politics of the server a little bit easier if they weren't involved as well, because obviously I can totally see the conflict of interest there, although frankly it's difficult to convince me of anything because honestly I don't really care who wins on the server. I just want people to have fun. And so if I actually like cared about being king or like having taxes or actually the politics of the server as they develop, then I suppose that it would be a conflict of interest. But as of right now, I'm just like, meh, whatever. Let's say hello. Greetings, Agathor. I used the wrong vowel in his name, but it's okay. He'll make an appearance inside of a video, and that seems to be enough for most people. What do I want to do right now? Well, we've got iron, so I figure we should probably get this thing upgrading. It's going to take 1 minute for that to get done. We need to also... Oh, we can't do anything while that's sitting there. We can't really do anything while that's sitting right there. Unfortunately, I started a conversation in the middle of an episode, which is always a mistake. I shouldn't do it. I should have learned my lesson. Can you chop trees with a claymore? Oh, you only get 2. I feel like this should be like the weapon of the day when it comes to felling trees. I don't know. Foul arboreal. I say arboreal? Foul arboreal beast. I shall slay you and your woody exterior for the remainder of the freedom of the world of the righteousness. That's how you get caught up in a moment right there. That's how you get it. Let's see. Are you done yet? Hurry up. Upgrade. Be faster.
I need you to be faster so that your work's a little quicker so that I can get my base up and running before my asthma kicks me on out. I didn't bring my medication or my inhaler.
Come on. You can work this. You got 3 seconds left to go. I realize this might not be the most entertaining of episodes. It's going to be a couple before people start to jump online and like attack each other and fight in the red zone over there, which is actually the center field area. Let's see here. So he's going to be in the Grey faction. I will have to, like, declare people. I do have, like, notepads and stuff like that to help me out for right now until I get it all condensed into an Excel file. We need to make an anvil so that we can actually make ourselves some real tools so that we can go out and farm effectively. I probably won't be like a KOS jackal like a lot of people will be. I just don't enjoy jumping people and killing them that much. I enjoy it in some games, like H1Z1, I get my jollies out of it, and like DayZ occasionally, if I really sneak up on somebody who's not paying attention, it's entertaining. But even then, I find that the biggest joy in games like that is the ability to move through an area like a ghost and just have nobody ever know that you're there, even though you're 2 buildings away, looting while they're looting. That kind of stuff really, I don't know. I'm not going to say that it turns me on, but it definitely gives me some sort of feeling in my tummy. It definitely gets something. It gets some kind of motor clicking and moving along and consuming oil and all of that fun stuff. I probably should have done this before I started the episode. Oh well. We have no tools because I threw away my club because I'm a giant noob like that. So where we want to build, I'm not really sure in Chivalry here where the best spot is. I'm thinking that down on the back of the beach right there might not be a terrible call, right over there. That pretty much puts us as far away from the resource valley as possible, and it puts us super deep inside Chivalry territory, which lowers the chances. Who am I kidding? I'm putting this up on YouTube. It doesn't lower my chances of getting hit. Obviously, I'm one of the few people that's going like on public record and stamping my name on top of a base, and so I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyways, we got that all done. Yeah, let's relocate for a moment. Let's relocate. So I think that up here, not feeling so good about it, but up in Chivalry, I think that this back here will probably be a pretty good idea. I think that, yeah, I think I might be able to make this work. The other thing that I was thinking about is being on the backside of a hill so that, as per usual, I could actually outsource the backside of my base. Because what you can do is you can make it so that you don't have to spend resources making the back wall of your base if you actually just put it up against a wall, like right here. However, that would be a really good spot in there too. The reason being... yeah, not the raisin being. The raisin being is a terrible, terrible space monster. You don't want to know about the raisin being, but the reason being, that's actually secluded on all sides except from bears. So aside from, you know, the random Ursine problem you would run into, you couldn't really be trebbed or damaged from right there. It'd be very, very difficult to treb somebody's house. You would have to use explosive barrels, which, as I understand, are not back in the game just yet, even though I wish they would be. You can also use ballistas to knock down walls. I don't know if people knew that, but that's how somebody got into my base without disturbing, like, anything. Somehow they deployed a ballista inside my base without destroying a crest, and I still have no fathoming. I've tried really, really hard. Like, I've gone to the depths to try and figure out and fathom how they've come up with that plan, but I got nothing. I got nothing right now. Well, this actually looks fairly promising too. Basically, I'm afraid of any location that is projectile prone. An area that has a lot of open space that can just be like whacked with big old rocks and things of that nature. So, I'm just not sure right now. There's got to be good real estate around here somewhere. There's got to be something that we can make equitable use of up in this area. I mean, realistically, if you could build this thing extending off the back of the island, you'd be in really good shape protecting yourself as well. Oh, don't fall off the cliff right now. That's not something I want to deal with. Well, I figure we'll just go down to this little wang-shaped piece of ground over here. Let's just use this little beach back here, and once we've used this little beach, we'll take care of business, and that'll be it for us. Doesn't that sound good? It sounds good to me. It's one of those things that's really sort of ringing on mine ears right now. It might just be the explosives, though, that I've been fiddling around with. No, I haven't been fiddling with any explosives. Don't put me on a government watch list, please. I don't really need any new timepieces. Let's go down through here. Yeah, there's the spot right there. There's the spot. This is it, although this would leave us open to being attacked by trebuchets pretty far into Chivalry territory at this point, and I don't know. I think I'm thinking about it as though there's going to be thousands of players on the server, so that might be what's jamming me up. However, let's go ahead and lay down our basics. There it is. Basics have all been laid down, and we've got enough wood to get started with some things. Let's kind of like move those around right there. We've got enough stone. It took so long to farm. I don't know. I was farming while I was watching The Office last night, and I just got bored like halfway, and I was just like, I cannot farm anymore. I can't do this. It's just taking forever. Oh my god. So, let's see here. We need to make ourselves some blocks. And so what can we get out of this? So they lowered that back down to 30, so that's actually a lot more manageable than it used to be. You can still treb it. Did they actually fix the... let me see here. Where are the windows at? Did they fix the windows yet? Because I might make another... oh, they did. They fixed the windows. Okay, somewhere deep down inside of me, I like to think that maybe one of the developers saw that on my video and then decided to fix it. So we can get 241 blocks out of that. That sounds pretty good to me. I think I'll go all in on that for the moment. Let's jump on over to this side, and we want to put some of this iron to good use, making ourselves some tools. And so let's do that. We've got iron armor over here. I don't have space for it, so I'm not going to do it just yet. However, I would like to have some harvesting tools made, and so I would always go after the hatchet personally. I think some people will disagree with me, but I go after the hatchet for the sole reason that it actually chops faster than the two-handed one, and I'm pretty sure it's better for like mass farming than the actual two-hander. I can't confirm it, like I haven't run the numbers on it yet, like how much it farms per second, but I'm pretty sure it's faster. I'm almost positive to the point where I might bet money on it, maybe, if I was a betting man. Then again, I'm not. I try and stay away from gambling because I know that I have a problem. Like, I love casinos and I love stuff like that a little bit too much. And once you start to get that inkling where you're like, yeah, I'm going to put some money down when you don't actually have money, that's when you know you need to walk away. And so I tend to stay away from, like, Reno and Vegas and stuff. I go every now and again, and I just gamble, like, a little bit. But I try and keep it on the DL because, obviously, I just want to make sure. Is Splat in game? Yeah, I am. Unfortunately, I can't really talk with people right now because I am making the recordings, and I can't type and I can't think and talk at the same time. It's a weakness. It's a character flaw. It's a thing that I've never been able to accomplish. We'll grab that right there. Alright, so now that that's been taken care of, I believe that once we get these blocks up and running, this is going to be the backside of my base right here. We might get trebbed. I don't know. All of these are a little bit prone to getting trebbed, and so I'm thinking it doesn't really matter where we drop this in. We're essentially just going to have to make ourselves a little hovel. Yeah, we might have to make ourselves... This right here might work, actually, like backing into this corner. But then again, every time the server resets, there's going to be like a rock and a giant bush up inside my base, and that'll kind of be lame. I could put up a big retaining wall and then just sort of have like a little survival area in the back. I don't know. I want to do something unique and interesting with this base, and I haven't quite decided what it is just yet. Got 120 blocks up and ready to run right there. Some of our loot sitting around is looking pretty solid. In fact, let's go... and we're going to chop some trees. There's a couple of trees around here, and I just don't want any of them menacing all up on my land. Urban Murder is asking if I'm in green faction. Let me go ahead and answer him. Lean, mean, and ready to green. Alright, so we'll go and get this tree real fast too, because I don't want any shade in this area. I want my workers to know that when you're up in Chiselburg, it's work to live, live to work. And so let's get this right here. Somebody's joining Flophaven. That's good. I was a little bit concerned that choosing purple was not the best choice for a faction, but I'm glad to see that doesn't. I don't know. I associate purple with royalty and just like lavish habits and things like that. But some people associate purple just as sort of like, I don't know, like a non-masculine color. I don't agree with that. I think that royalty is fairly... I think that royalty can be masculine or feminine. I don't know. Either way, though, I like purple. Like a real... I have a purple shirt that's like this real rich, deep purple, and it's one of my favorite shirts that I have. It's just... it looks luxurious. It looks fantastic. I wish that they had a map that we could pull up and use, too. How much of these do we have left to go? Well, luckily, it seems like it's taking a little while to get this thing going, so I'm hoping that with 200 blocks, we should be able to keep this cooking. We got 30 seconds left until that is done. Do I have anything to cook over? Oh, I do. I have some food that I can cook. Okay. Let's split off like 5... Actually... I'll probably put like 25 of these in here, and I'll just let this fire run for a while, because you always want to have a good supply of charcoal, especially once you start working on some other little projects that require oil and charcoal. I'm also going to grab these berries from off on this side. I'm glad that we got a couple. There's a berry bush up there. I'm pretty stoked about the fact that we actually have ready and able food, like right here. You can run over and grab it. Oh, I already got that one. Never mind. My life is ruined. All is woe, for there is no longer berries inside of my domicile. My heart is broken, ne'er again shall it tick in a fashion that shall denote my livingness. There's one over here, though, so this might give me a slight little jumper cable. A little bit of mouth-to-mouth, I guess. Or I guess hand-to-mouth, since I took it off the bush. Let's see here. Okay, so there's our blocks. The next thing that I would prefer to accomplish... I'm going to have to drop the fat, unfortunately. I think we're going to have to get rid of it, just because I'm full up right now. And that's the next thing that I need to make sure that I do. Where are my containers at? These are going to cost me, let's make 2 iron chests. That should give us a little bit of storage space so that we can play around with some of the random stuff we have in our inventory. Actually, that one stone is kind of eating up space too. So we'll take those right there. I'm going to deploy these on the back side. Got the 5 right there. Green is my favorite color. If you're wondering what it went into the selection of my faction, green is my favorite color by far. Like, it is the superior color as far as I'm concerned. Green is fantastic. Like, if I could just have green skin like a Ninja Turtle, I would go straight after that so fast your head would spin. I'm like, I don't care if people judge me because I have green skin. I don't even... So, Greasewood is gray. Nah, Greasewood is blue. Shifty... are gray. Alright, so we got 4 meat right there. Now what I need to do is we need to get this wood out of our inventory. I'm just going to make some backup blocks right here. I do like the log blocks. However, I think it's probably better to go after the tier 3s. Yeah, let's go after the tier 3s. I think those are going to work a little bit better. And we'll get those cooking for right now while we start building the basis of our base, I guess. Our base is, I suppose, like our base hyphen is. I think that we don't really need a ton of space. I just want to make sure that nobody runs in and straight just like drops the heat on our face right now. What's inside of here? Oh man, that's the one that I loaded in. Damn it. This is why I shouldn't be allowed to plan anything. It's been 8 seconds and I'm already messing shit up. Okay, so I'd like to find a superior wall in here. I think that this one will do it. We'll go something like this. There we go. And let me grab my anvil. This is primarily going to be a building episode until we got to go back out and get more resources. I haven't decided exactly how farming is going to occur just yet because I'm a little bit burned out on it. But we'll figure it out as time goes along. I think I should leave that back door right there open in some respects. Our base is going to be a little bit roundish, I guess. I'm going to try and use my pixelation skills to sort of make this whole thing look a little bit less blocky while we go out. How many did I put on that straight line right there before it hit the wall? That's going to have what looks like 5. Okay, we don't need like a big base. We could have just like a little one. I don't think that's going to hurt anybody's feelings if our base is small and then we build upwards with like layers and things like that. That tends to be the safest way to go about your business anyways. And how many zigzags did I put on that side? Just the 2? Okay. And then did I... Ah, the third one is where it connects. I see it now. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Let's get that going right there. I'm pretty pleased with this. I think this will work out for right now. I think I could round it out a little bit more just to make it look mo better. But as of right now, I don't know, it's a little bit wonky. I'll have to finish it off in between episodes, I think. But what I'll do is let's just get the bases down right now. I just want to make sure that like the fundamental pieces are all in place before we move on to do anything else. Part of me is actually kind of glad that they fixed the window slat problem, because like those window slats were actually kind of a pain in the ass to place. They don't place as easily or as readily as other blocks do, and so it can cause problems for you if you've been planning on doing it. So sorry about that. I had to make a little cut right there just because Skype decided to do something weird. It's odd because it's not in my programs list at all, but it still hits me with like these little notifications when people send me messages on Skype. Like, it's not in my programs list. It's not like anywhere. Like, I've pretty much, by all extents and purposes, uninstalled the bastard just to get rid of this problem. But like, I don't know. I got to go into the settings and like fix stuff. I guess that's not really going to work for outsourcing our back wall now, is it? However, in order to round this out properly, it's going to have to go in like so, or something like that. And that's fine by me. It's not completely and totally round. In fact, it's kind of janky looking. It's a little bit weird. How is that so odd? Maybe I should just take this all along this back wall right here. And we should go like this. I don't know. I'm trying to get this to look like natural and not weird. And yet I'm having a tremendous time of it. It's making me very, very sad. And so maybe we go something like this right here. The odd part is that yeah, it seems like it might work for a little while, maybe. I don't know. There we go. That'll work for right now. I mean, I'm not totally enamored with it. I don't find myself like stammering and stumbling over words and thinking about date ideas about it. But it's good enough for right now. And if it's good enough for right now, that's enough to hold me over. We'll also want to make a nicer crest somewhere in the future. But actually, since we're not claiming that much land, I'm choosing right now. I'm trying to leave a little bit for other people because I realize the faction areas really might become sort of condensed and overcrowded in a little bit if a lot of people decide to play. And I have every reasonable expectation that people will. I mean, last time the server was up, it was pretty much at max capacity most of the time by the time we got around to like weekends and stuff like that. So anyways, that looks good enough. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of it, but I think it'll do for right now. And then I'll leave the flooring out for the moment because it'll save us some materials. I mean, that's my biggest thing that I'm worried about for right now, is that I just don't want to go through a ton of materials. Now, what you can do when you're building like this is you can actually go every other layer with wood and stone, and that'll actually save you a little bit of building materials if you wanted to. Because what that means is that they'll still have to do enough damage to destroy stone. It just, you know, it opts to save you a little bit of materials because they can only destroy like one layer at a time. And so there it is. At least in my head noodle, that seems to work out pretty well. People could tell me if that faction idea, or I'm sorry, that building idea doesn't actually come together properly. I think we might have enough materials to actually get the first layer going, which would be a miracle for this playthrough. It'd be a huge miracle. Let's go through here. All right. I'll probably take this up by like, I don't know, 5 seems good. Just take it up like as high as we can, and then once we get our first base all nice and in place, we'll hope that our enemies will be gone without a trace so we don't have to hit them with a mace, because that would be sort of throwing violence in their face. There we go. Especially if they're from Thrace. Is Thrace still a place? Can you still go to Thrace, or is that just like a name from antiquity? I mean, technically, I guess if it ever had the name, you could it's like you can still go to technically Persia, I suppose, like the area that used to be Persia, until they like split it up and changed all the names and whatnot. However, yeah, this looks nice. I'm stoked about it. I don't find myself getting all choked up about the fact that it's not exactly perfect, but it'll do for right now. I think we do have a problem in that the hill is up above our base, which gives people ready access to like essentially any area that they want to get into, which I'm a little bit concerned about. So as we build upwards, they could just stand on the cliff face, and they could fire into the sides here and then jump through the hole, I guess, on whatever floor they want to be in. A little bit worrying right there, I guess, but I suppose I shouldn't be giving people ideas right now for how to break into my stuff, even though I've already come to the conclusion that I'm probably going to get robbed and raided and everything else. It's just part of the game. We'll grab that over there. Okay, we're looking real solid now, and so now we want to start putting in the area of the building. I'll go get that. Why are you building below like that? Sometimes this game has very real troubles with layers and like where you want to place blocks up vertically, like up in the air along the Y. I guess, does it count as the Y-axis? I don't know. Either way, it's been a while since my three-dimensional geometry classes. That was brutal. Like, we had to do three-dimensional linear at one point. And I had a geophysics class where we had to do three-dimensional linear algebra, and it was awful from what I remember. It was not funsies. Either way, once you start getting into like weird higher math like that, I start to lose myself anyways. Euclidean geometry and all that stuff. You're like, meh. I think that I'll just stick with adding 5 and 5 and just being like, wee, I can do little boy maths. I don't need to be a big boy. My confidence is not so fragile that it requires me to like constantly reinforce the fact that I'm a big guy. I mean, I've been little my whole life, so you know what? Nothing new to me. We're going to need doors so that we can get into our base. So that's going to be the first part that we probably want to rectify. And then the second thing that we want to do here is let's actually take a look at the wood blocks and see how those are coming along. I think we're probably going to have a little farming session in between episodes. But for right now, that did use up all of our wood, so we can't make doors or anything like that. We can, however, start moving some of this stuff inside so that it's slightly safer. I mean, there's no door, so it's not that safe. I suppose that the best thing that we're protecting it from right now is like rain, hail, sleet, snow, all of those other lovely little atmospheric emoticons, I guess. We'll go over there, and we'll go onto this side, okay. And so we've got 6 right there, okay. But you're right there, okay. There it is. Get all these bushes out of my base. I'm pretty stoked that there's no trees in my base, though. That was like a major frustration for me. I was just like, ugh, these trees up in my base were driving me crazy in my previous base that I built. It was non-stop. So, we've got, what did I want to do with this over here? I came over here for a reason, and I was thinking thoughts, and there was stuff that I wanted to accomplish. I think, nope, I didn't want to drop those on the ground. Those are expensive, and they require effort. I suppose I could just throw an iron gate on this, couldn't I? Because I do have it already. Let's go back and with the doors. Yeah, throw an iron gate on it. That'll protect it a little bit. They can jump up and over the top, but it's going to cause problems for them if they try and escape. They could plant a crest in here and steal all my stuff, which I'm a little bit worried about, considering we have no materials for a crest. So we'll want to get on that before the next episode. We just need wood in order to make that work. So I figure I'll run up some hills. I'll make that happen. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Reign of Kings. I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes. Take care, everybody, and hi-do as always.